In a small patch of the Brazilian Atlantic coastal forest, Professor Karen Strier of the University of Wisconsin-Madison's Anthropology Department studies the morakey, a fascinating but critically endangered primate.
I first got interested in the morakees because of their scientific value, but when I saw them for the first time and realized how precarious their future was, I also wanted to do everything I could to protect them.
The morakey have one of the most unusual social systems known among any primate. One thing that makes them so distinct is their lack of aggression.
The morakees are incredibly peaceful. Not only are relationships among males and among females peaceful, but the relationships between males and females are peaceful. So they really do live in a truly egalitarian society. Initially, the population was very small, probably because of habitat loss and other disturbances. But as we've been able to protect their habitat, the population is growing. So how do they respond to this new ecological and demographic challenge? Are we reaching some kind of threshold or a tipping point where the population grows so much that they can no longer stay so peaceful?
Professor Strier's research has real urgency because the morakey are a critically endangered species.
We're talking about a species that only has about 1,000 individuals left in the world. And most of their habitat has already undergone so much disturbance that all that's really left of it are fragments of forest and the individuals they support.
To help an endangered species recover, it is important to understand as much as possible about their reproductive habits. Strier and her team employ a rather novel method to study morakey reproduction.
We worked on extracting the hormones from the morakee's dung, their feces, to understand their reproductive biology. Now, this is not as unappealing as it might sound because the morakees are strict vegetarians and they eat a lot of leaves from the cinnamon family. So actually their dung is very aromatic.
This non-invasive approach turned out to yield a goldmine of concrete science.
So from this research, we've gained a lot of important insights into the morakee's reproductive biology. We now know female age at puberty, we know cycle lengths, and we know gestation length. It's been a phenomenal advance, and I'm really proud that we've been able to learn so much about them without any invasive measures, just from observation alone.
With habitat loss the key reason for the morakey's depressed population, conservation becomes the primary means to fight back.
These are slow-growing, slow-reproducing primates, and the goal is to help the population grow large enough so that if there's a catastrophe of any kind, there'll still be enough individuals to survive it. All we need to do is keep protecting the forest and the monkeys, and with enough time, they'll be able to repopulate it.
So what can we do to help the morakey population recover?
In research like this, small amounts of money can go a long way. So people should contact me if they want to find out how they can be involved in helping to save the morakey.
In the years that she's been studying these gentle, peaceful creatures, Professor Strier has seen the population in her study group grow from 45 to 300 individuals. After all this time, her enthusiasm for her research remains undiminished.
We've learned a lot about the morakees, but there's still a lot more that they can teach us about ourselves, about other primates, and that's one of the reasons why I care so much about their conservation. It's an amazing experience to study wild animals, and it is incredibly rewarding when you gain their trust. But it's also a huge responsibility, and I think that's why, after all these years, I'm still studying the same individuals.